Greetings from Canyonlands. It is day one of us driving the White Rim Road. We're actually at Shafer Trail or Shafer Canyon right now. We're about to go down the switchbacks. This is kind of the first technical part of the trip. I kind of slept in a little bit, not slept in, but I didn't hit the trail right away because it snowed last night, and I wanted to kind of see what the road looked like, give it a little bit of time, make sure the snow was going to stop before we start heading down. There's another route we could have gone. We could have gone through Potash, which comes from kind of the Moab area and up. That road takes 2 hours, 3 hours almost to go, but it's low elevation. There's no snow up there. So there's snow up here, and the switchbacks are all in shadows, all covered in snow, melting snow, mud right now. So we'll see. I'm gonna air my tires down right now though, and start heading down this way because it looks pretty good. So anyway, see you at the bottom. All right, so finish the air down process. We went to 23, 24. You can always go lower, but you don't have to air down probably on this route. I don't know. I figured for 3 days it'll be fun to just have the tires lower. It'll make a softer ride. We'll have an easier time going over any rocks that we might hit. The thing, if you don't know how to air the tires down, I learned from snow coach guiding, and that was a big part of our training, was all about how the tires worked. In case we get stuck, we can air them down. But we would drive with them aired down to 12 pounds of pressure, and we could go all the way down to 5 without really like unseating it. I'm sure these tires could go down pretty low, 10 or 12, no problems, but we're at the 24 right now, 22 right now. So anyway, the biggest thing is if you're gonna pull the valve stems out like I did, it's very quick. It only took me maybe 40 seconds per tire to let it go down from 37 to 22. If you're not at the ready with that valve stem to put it back in, you can deflate it too much, and it's really easy when you pull a valve stem out for it to fly away, and then you're scrambling to find it. So I always keep a little box right next to me, so in case that one flies away, I can grab that one instead of looking for the original one, pop that one in, and then there's not even any ice on the road. This is totally fine right now. I'm just taking these. We're going about 12 miles an hour, which is about the speed we'll go at the high end on White Rim Road. All right, so we see the Shafer switchbacks on the left there, and the guy ahead of me looks like I can see his tracks over there. It's like he made it all. It looks like he made it all the way down. I can see his tracks in the snow. So now we feel pretty confident about this. The road itself is very manageable. This is a nothing road. I mean, I guarantee you can make this down, on a normal like Subaru kind of thing. But it's just, you make an error on the left side and it is 1,000 feet to the bottom. So that's the big concern for Shafer is there's a lot of big turns and you get one wheel off, and it's good night nurse. So. Real nice. I don't see any ice on the road. It's just a little bit of snow. We're not sliding at all, but no reason to take a chance here. So we'll creep through all this. I might get out and show you the switchbacks. All right, so yeah, I can see the guy I met up top in his Bronco. He's already passed all the snowy spots, so not a big deal at all. But here's the view of the canyon. If this had snowed and then really cold for a long time and had ice on this would not be a very pleasant road to go down, but it's just a little bit of mud. Nothing special. And this corner is the one that's always in the shade, so even the spots that already have sunlight on them look like the snow's already been melted. So, well, so far so good. All right, so full disclosure, I drove this road yesterday for fun. Just, you know, get out and I drove all of Potash, which we're driving part of it again today. This boulder wasn't here yesterday. So this thing fell sometime yesterday or this morning or overnight kind of thing. So yeah, that would have been a loud thud at the bottom here. Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, that was not there yesterday. Wow. All right, so I pulled over. Someone's coming up the trail, and the etiquette thing to do is if you're going downhill, you yield to the people going uphill. So I'm gonna flip this around. You can see this guy in a Jeep coming up full speed. We found a little bit of a pull out, and we stopped here. He'll go around us, and life's good. All right, so we're at the bottom of Shafer Trail. You kind of see in the distance the route we took up. And yeah, if you didn't know what the road was like going up that way, it looks treacherous with the snow. So that gentleman stopped and asked me about what if it was icy or if it was safe to go on. It was a nothing. It was not even, I mean, a little bit of mud, no big deal. But he reminded me, if you don't know like the road conditions, or just the, you know, whatever, it's totally great to ask people who know. Back in Yellowstone, we get people all the time that die in avalanches, and it's this weird of like fear of missing out. They spend all their money, they come to Yellowstone, and regardless of the avalanche danger, they will go snowmobiling in avalanche terrain, and it's just not the smartest thing in the world to do. And it's, you know, I get it costs a lot of money. You come here, if you didn't know any better, and you went up that road and all of a sudden you turn into ice and you couldn't turn around to get back down here, or in the process of turning around, you backed over the edge and died. Yeah, there's no need for that. Like, these guys all came from Potash and from Moab. They can just turn around right before the snow and then go back the way they came. So good on that guy for asking. But this is at the corner. We're at the White Rim Road start. After this point here, we'll head towards our first campsite. After this point, you have to have a permit to go on this. There's day permits, or there's like my backcountry permits. The other route goes to Potash and goes this way. So we're gonna go down this route just a little bit and go see the Green River up close. So, all right, let's go. There ain't no more roads, so we're gonna have to go on the rock. right, so I think I owe you an apology. I think I have to do an edit real fast. A minute ago, I said we're going down to the Green River, and that's not true. We're going to the Colorado River. We'll see the Green River tomorrow and Tuesday a lot, but this is Gooseneck, and this is the Colorado River. In my defense, it is pretty green today, but yeah, I'm gonna get the real camera out and take a shot of this. All right, well, so far so good. We've gone about 8.5 miles from the top of Shafer Trail. Come to the big first checkpoint I cared about, which was Muscle Man Arch. Reminds me of people I know. Before I first started coming here, I was like YouTubing like Canyonlands and arches and stuff. And this is such a big rule here. Now, that being said, 5-6 different videos I saw on YouTube, people had GoPros out and they're like, I'm gonna walk across the arch, and they walked across the arch. Like, there's breaking the law, and then there's being so brazen about it, you're gonna put it on YouTube. So I'm such a big rule follower, especially in the national parks. You know, I live in Yellowstone, I love it here. Like, if you can't follow the rules here, you shouldn't come. And if you get caught doing something like walk across an arch, you should be banned from all the national parks. You should lose your right to vote. All right? Like, it's a privilege to have this stuff. And, you know, people gonna come over here and break a rule just because, well, you know, it's not that big a rule. No, it is. And I don't know, I assume the drop on this, if this breaks and you're walking on it, is, you know, hundreds of feet. So, anyway. Oh, it looks cool though. Oh, it's like dead flat. Let's get up here. I'll show you this. Wow. Oh my word. Man, that's pretty sick. Why would you ever walk on that? But there's a bunch of videos of people walking on it. So anyway, I'm gonna go check it out. I'm not gonna go anywhere near the edge though. Wow. So yeah, so far so good. We've driven about, I don't know, a couple hours. We've stopped a lot just to check things out and, you know, look at things. So yeah, so far so good. I ran into someone back there that said, past my second campsite, there is a boulder that makes the road impassable. They had to turn around. So they were warning me about that. So there's a good chance we can't go the whole loop, which isn't a big deal. You know, I'm sure after tonight, when it gets down to 15 degrees, I'm gonna be so cold I don't want to do another night out here. So I might just be able to go to my campsite, and then tomorrow I'll go at least to the halfway point and then turn around. They said it's almost all the way to the end of the road. Like, I got what's Mineral Road is where I'm coming out at. It's something like less than 10 miles from the edge of the end of the road. So, yeah, we're gonna not be able to complete it, it sounds like, which no big deal. But yeah, we'll keep you apprised. I stopped for a second just to get the old camera out. You know, hasn't been much as far as like stunning views go. As far like downhill, like everything up top. I think like Islands of the Sky is gorgeous, but on the left side of the vehicle, you'd say there hasn't been many big like overlook type areas since we passed maybe like Muscle Man Arch. So this is one though. This caught my eye for sure. So we stopped here to photograph. Not bad. So we got about 4 miles, I think, 3 miles to our campsite. We're gonna set up. So see you there. All right, we've arrived at our campsite. Oh, look out! We've arrived at our campsite. We're at Gooseberry A, and yeah, as I drive in, I was able to catch cell service, and I'll put a picture of this up. But I got an email from Canyonland's backcountry offices telling me that the road is closed about 40 miles ahead. So I think it's just going to be I'll camp here tonight, and then I'll take my time and go back. No big deal. All right, the time is 3:27, and the sun is behind the mountains. So, I mean, we'll have ambient light for another 90 minutes or so, but there's no more photons hitting me, so it's about to get cold. So, all right, whatever. I'm gonna slowly start cooking. We've got a ribeye tonight to cook, and then potato chips. You know, that's a good healthy dinner. So anyway, you guys can watch me cook, but I'm gonna speed it and not give you all the gruesome details. So rock and roll. We're about done here. Hold on. And my dumbass, I bought thyme. Steaks, I'm just buttering thyme, and it's gone, or it's in the Jeep somewhere. So no big deal, but I mean, not too bad for camping. We're not roughing it today. We're smoothing it today. So anyway, I'm gonna eat. Start watching movies. I'll probably walk you guys out and show you the stars, but it's gonna be cold tonight. I don't know what time it is. It is 5:07. Sunset happened. Proper sunset. And it's almost full moon. I'm sure this GoPro is really gonna show you the moon nice, but whatever. I thought I'd just show you. I've decided where we're gonna photograph tonight. And we're gonna shoot. I would like narrate it, but I'm not gonna do that when it's dark out. So we're gonna set an interval. Once it gets dark enough where I don't think the exposure will change much, so probably by 6:30 or 7, we're gonna set up, and I'm gonna shoot for 3 hours. We're gonna do 30-second exposure, you know, whatever exposes properly, 30 seconds of time, 1 second in between, and we're gonna let it run 360 images, right? 120 images an hour, basically. Yeah, so 360. We're gonna do. Maybe we'll set the 400. We'll shoot a little longer. We'll set up to take 400 images, and this is gonna be our area. So hopefully you can kind of see. I'm hoping that the stars will reflect inside these. So from my angle here, you can see all of these here, including this one in front of us, are not reflecting the mountain behind it, but the stars. So that'll be interesting. And then with a full moon, it'll be, you know, behind the camera. So hoping that we can see some of this white sandstone. So that'd be good. There's 2 ways to do these type of shots. You can either take one long 3 or 4 hour exposure, and that's more like pray it works out. Or you and I do take a bunch of shots and then blend them all together later in Photoshop. So we might make a separate video about how to do that in Photoshop. But for now, just that's the plan tonight. It's 5 o'clock. I've got 14 hours till the sun comes up. So we're gonna hunker down. There's no one at this campsite, so I wouldn't doubt. And knowing I'm just turning around and going back, if I get cold, I might sit in the Jeep and just idle a couple times throughout the night. But whatever. This time I go put on my long underwear and my sweats, and I got 90 minutes, and I'll set the camera up and set an alarm for 10 o'clock tonight to go get it. Or I can just, if I fell asleep, I could just let it run and die and sit out there. No one's gonna take it. So anyway, see you guys in the morning. Ooh, good morning. We survived. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it also wasn't comfortable by any means. I mean, you can see everything I own is just covered in frost the whole way. So it was cold. Whatever, we survived. Right before 7 p.m. last night, a couple mountain bikers showed up, and they camped right next to me. So I didn't want to necessarily jump in the Jeep and idle and wake them up. So I just dealt with being out in the cold, which whatever. It was like being in an ice coffin, but we survived. So sunrise is coming up right now. So I'm gonna go see all of the little tide pools are now frozen over. So I'm gonna go photograph that, see what it looks like. So anyway. All right, so we're about 6.5 miles from the campsite on the way back, and I'm just kind of I'm glancing around looking at stuff, and I can see Mesa Arch way up in the hillside there. It's kind of cool from this angle. It looks so small against the skyline. Mesa Arch, if you've never been to Canyonlands, Mesa Arch for a photographer is like the big I don't even say cliche, it's the classic sunrise photo of the solar flare coming over the horizon. It faces pretty east, and there's the arch, and then there's a cliff face. So the sun hits this cliff face, which highlights the underside of the arch. So yeah, I'll put up a photo up I took 2021. I took this photo. Yeah, I was up there just the other day, yesterday morning, with all the snow. I was like, oh, I wonder if Mesa Arch looks pretty in the snow. It was foggy and stuff, but I took a little time lapse, so I'll put that on here. And we just turned at the very bottom of the road. So on the time lapse, you should see the White Rim Road, and we're kind of right now on the way back at the very bottom of that. Alrighty, guys. Well, we made it. All we got left is the Shafer switchbacks again, you know, up there. I'm gonna take this time to air my tires back up. I won't need them aired down to do Shafer, and the little portable air compressor things I have are kind of loud, so might as well do it down here when no one's around instead of up like by the visitor center. So no, this is fun. It sucks we couldn't do the whole thing, but you know, it was my first time going past Muscle Man Arch, so it's pretty good. And nothing like terribly technical. Nothing where I was like worried about tire placement or even got out and looked at the route. It was pretty good. The harder parts are after. There's a few big climbs I think you have to do kind of after the halfway point. So I don't know. We'll come back again. I might come back like in the spring when it'll be warmer out, do more biking stuff and not freeze to death. So anyway, this is the last day of my vacation. Well, tomorrow's supposed to be my last day, but I'm gonna find a hotel room somewhere in Moab, Green River, and then I drive to Yellowstone tomorrow. So I'm ready for more snow. All right. Anyway, see you guys.